right, y'all. Better late than never. I'm running on borrowed time. We got a napping baby. Let's talk about September. Positive moments. There were like a lot of positive things that happened in September that were kind of surprises. Probably the first one, money related, is that I made a $2,000 debt payment. I told you it was coming. And you guys were like, I can't wait to see how you do it. I put $2,000 towards the debt that I owed for the personal loan. The way we divvied it up is the personal loan only ended up covering like my 2022 taxes. So I owed like $6,000 some odd. So I accrued that debt because I wasn't an S Corp yet, and those were my taxes when I was just like a self-employed person. So I figured that business money should pay for that. And I asked my accountant, and they're like, you can make owner's draws for whatever the heck you want. Stop asking us this question. You've asked us a million times. Please just like use your money. I've got it. So why not use it? The plan is to pay $6,000 of the personal loan money that I owe with business money. So $2,000 a month for the next 3 months. And then the remainder will come out of my emergency fund or just my checking account if I've got enough money in there, so that I will be done. I will be done by the end of the year with my part of the personal loan debt. And I am very excited about that. I like this plan. I think it's good. You guys are probably pretty pissed about it because you're like, what? You're just pulling money out of nowhere, Casey. Huh? I don't show you guys my business finances because that's probably illegal. I don't know. I'm just like so happy that I feel like the business is making enough money, and it has over the last year, for me to be able to do owner's draws to knock this out, not get into this kind of debt ever again, and just be done with it. There is a solution. There is a plan, and the way that I've been planning and not spending money has allowed me to have this stockpile that I can use to take care of this. Oh, so good. Speaking of like other big like money things, our property taxes are due in October, and the mortgage company pulls from our escrow account in September. Usually for the last couple of years we've had a shortage. This year we did not, because we overpaid into our escrow and overpaid our mortgage. So there was enough money in the escrow account for the larger amount of property taxes than what the mortgage company anticipated last year. Does that make sense? You know what I'm talking about. If you own a house, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't own a house, get ready. So the fact that there was like enough money to cover this shortage is just like one less bill we have to worry about. One less surprise thing that we've had to pay before because we didn't budget correctly or we were uneducated on what the situation was. But now we don't have that problem. And that's like the whole point of doing this entire project, is to start having these unexpected bills be covered because we didn't spend more than we make. Or we didn't spend everything that we made. It's working. Like, this is the proof in the pudding, man. Like, it's only taken 10 months. But like, this is what I was trying to fix. This is what being an adult should feel like. I'm so happy. Okay, now for like fun, positive moment stuff. So the swing is done. We finished the swing. Like, yes, there's still some planting that needs to be done. Yes, I'm gonna move some stuff around. Yes, the video still has to be edited. I know. Guys, the real reason this video is so late is because I've had a nasty stomach virus and a lot of work. The fall is one of my busiest times as a photographer. So I'm getting it in where I can. But anyway, the swing project is done and it looks incredible. We'll talk about how much it cost in a little bit, but I am just like so happy that I was able to make a plan yet again, planning ahead, budgeting, figuring out how much things are gonna cost before we just decide to go do them. Man, should have done that before I bought a house and had a baby in the same year. There will be a whole video on the project. And then, surprise, bonus renovation project, I got a wild hair and just decided to paint the rest of the guest bathroom green. I really love it. It reads very like Victorian, like smoker lounge kind of vibe for me. We moved around some furniture and some art from other places in the house to kind of like redecorate that bathroom as well. I made new curtains out of the old shower curtain that was in our bathroom that I just couldn't keep clean. And I love it. We'll also talk about how much that costs later. But so good job, September. We got 2 little house projects done. Not so little. We got 2 not so little house projects done. And we're not crying for money. This is this is great. I did good in September. So there were like a couple of less positive moments in September. So I didn't teach in September an actual like regular class because the class just didn't make, which happens sometimes. Not enough students sign up for that particular slot. So that was kind of a bummer because that's like regular money. I taught a couple of workshops, but not as many as I was signed up for because of the hurricanes that hit the Southeast. And so a lot of stuff got canceled just because of weather and rain. Everybody's fine. We're all good. But, less money. People weren't going out. I felt like we ate out a lot on the house account. And we kind of did. Like when Dan and I did our numbers for the house, it was a little more than it should have been. Like yet again, not breaking the bank, but like it just ended up that we needed to eat out a bunch. Now Emma did start preschool in September. And that is a large bill. And that is yet another bill that my business is paying for, that I'm taking owner's draws from the business to pay for. The accountant told me that was fine. She took a look at my numbers. She's like, I think this is totally manageable on your budget. But it did like do a lot to increase like the actual numbers that we were looking at the end of the month, which is like kind of shitty. Like it just looks like we're hemorrhaging money, but we weren't really. And I think my biggest problem with that is that like I see these things that come up that we spend more money on, and that's fine because like the money's there, but I see how little we're currently like saving out of the house account, like putting into our house emergency fund. I'm like, this doesn't feel good. Like we should be saving more. We should be not spending as much, even though it's all on stuff that seems necessary. There were a couple of, like I said, we had the house projects, but there were a couple like other things. Like Dan bought a replacement piece for our chandelier and like some chandelier cleaner. And I was like, is this necessary? Like, it like ended up being like a couple of things like that where we're like, I need to take some clocks to get repaired. And it's like, well, those little tiny bills, like they don't really fall into like a TP fund like Caleb talks about, but, or they should fall into a TP fund, but they just don't because they end up costing so much money. And we're doing much better about budgeting out the house projects, but like those little things, we're like, oh, we'll just go get it done. Like it's no big deal. And then they kind of pile up all at the same time. We do really good for a long time. Like, when have you ever heard me talk about this? Like a lot. Probably not very much. But yeah, it's kind of like, hey, last month was rough. And like as we go into the holidays, I can't be spending a bunch of money in September and October when I know I'm going to be spending a bunch of money in November and December. Those are like not the greatest things, but that's okay. Okay, so let's talk about the goals. Let's talk about goal updates for September. Alcohol. So I think I've discovered that like if there is alcohol in the house, I'm going to drink it, especially bourbon. So my dad left a bottle like a couple of months ago when he came and it's basically gone. And he's not drinking very much of it. It's just basically like a way for me to like have Diet Coke in the evening and like not feel bad about it, but like just stop drinking. I actually had to like tell myself not to finish the bottle before my dad came up to like finish the swing project because then he wouldn't have any for when he was here. And I was like, what's happening? So, I mean, the stomach virus definitely helped me like not drink anything recently, but it's, we need to just finish it and I just need to stop. But we didn't buy any. There's been no additional purchasing of alcohol. Books. Okay, I didn't buy any books. I didn't even want to. However, I am a little antsy for my own library to like get the books that I've requested for them to purchase. Obviously, I don't know the ins and outs of how that system works. Like they can't just buy every book that everybody asks them to buy, but a couple of these I'm like, I'd really like to read this. I don't think I want to own it. How do I get you to purchase this quicker for me? I need to just ask them. So in September, my husband and I like had a little book club. It was like super cute. We read Along Came a Spider, which is like the first James Patterson book, and but I will say the twists were good. It was my first James Patterson. And he had it on his Kindle, and so I went and got it from the library, and there is nothing more satisfying than walking into the library and finding the book you're looking for. Like, could I have done it online? Yes. But did I just walk in to see if I could find it? Yes. Was there one copy? Yes. Satisfying. Just that delayed gratification, Like, just wait. Clothes. I have not purchased any clothes. I did not buy any clothes in September. I am running into a bit of a problem, though. I guess that's not true. I did buy a pair of period underwear. I ended up buying 2 pairs in September. September is a longer month, so I was telling myself I'd buy myself a new pair of period underwear like every period, and so that happened twice in September. So there you have it. But I need a new pair of jeans. So my favorite jeans that I've been wearing for 1 million years, like literally I've had them for 10 years, are starting to wear thin in a place that they can't wear thin. There are lots of holes in like fun and normal places, but there's about to be a hole in a place that there should not be a hole. And I have a lot of trouble with jeans in general. I've got a little bit of a pear body shape going on, but I got really skinny legs. And so straight leg mom jeans look really stupid on me. And skinny jeans are pretty much all I'm gonna wear, or I'm gonna wear bell bottoms, which is like cool because they're in trend right now. But I'm not really trying to stay in trend. I'm trying to buy jeans that I can like comfortably wear for a long time because I keep jeans for a long time. But thrifting jeans is such a pain in the butt because trying on jeans is one of my least favorite things on the planet, which is why I keep my jeans for 10 plus years. So the other day I did go into American Eagle, which is where I purchased the first jeans, and I did try on a bunch of pairs. They weren't far off, but I didn't like any of them enough to like drop $60 on a pair. And I'm willing to invest in a pair of jeans. So I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on and what I'm gonna do. But like I told myself when I walked into the store the other day, I was like, if you find a pair of jeans and they fit and they look good, they make you feel good, you're gonna buy them, and you're gonna break your no buy of new clothes rule, because this is important. Can I hold off until January with the winter coming? I don't know. And I feel so bad because I would love to thrift a pair of jeans, because jeans are literally the most resource intensive item of clothing to be produced. They require so much water, so much processing of the cotton. It's insane. So I'm like riddled with guilt about this, which is like such bullshit. Like I shouldn't be, but I am. But I feel a little less guilty simply because I keep jeans for a million years. And like I said, I bought 2 pairs of period underwear in September apparently. And it has come to my attention that gents watch these videos. And I'm really proud of y'all for sticking here, sticking through it, learning a little bit about period care. Maybe you're gonna support a lady in your life with a pair if she's sustainably minded. And I'm proud of you. Good job. If you skip through this part, less proud of you. But how would you know where to skip? Like, proud of you. Furniture and home goods. In my work with the guest bathroom, I did buy a new shower curtain because I wanted one that went all the way to the ceiling. That was $10, so no big deal. And that was like technically, obviously we're gonna talk about paint later, but that was the only thing I purchased for like in terms of like furniture, home goods stuff. Baby step, nope. I didn't buy anything for the baby. I actually sold some stuff for the baby. Now we did get some new clothes from my mom for Emmett because she has no chill, which is great. I love it. She buys really cute stuff, so bring it on. But we might need to purchase him some stuff as the winter gets closer. I was culling through his drawers the other day and finally got rid of like a ton of stuff that is too small. And as winter gets closer, like making sure he has enough pants, making sure he has enough long sleeve tops, making sure he's got a couple of jackets that fit, which I don't think we're gonna have too much of a problem with, but he might need some more socks. You know, there will be some things that as he continues to grow and reaches that 18-month mark that he'll need some winter clothes. But that's okay, once upon a child, right down the street. Food and drink, like I said, we ate out a little bit too much. I was so proud in August because like my schedule just allowed me to like make a lot of food at home and like not have to worry about it. But September, that was not the deal. Could we have done better? Yes. Do I think it was like an unreasonable amount of eating out? No, because we just don't. Dan is so good at meal prepping. Dan is so good at cooking that like we're able to make like a lot of stuff work. But like, you know, my dad was in town. We got takeout, you know. I ate out a lot on like my business cards, which I hate doing. And so for October, I'm actually not going to eat out on my business cards. Like if I want food and I'm out in the world for shoots, I need to spend my own money. So that'll really help me like be like, you don't need that. Pack a salad, like figure it out. So we'll see if that actually like works. Okay, so paint and home improvement, obviously we've talked about it. I bought 2 pints of green for the bathroom because the gallon I had used for the first half of the bathroom was like basically gone. I did use a lot of it, but I needed just a little bit more, which was very frustrating. And that ran me like $100, which is crazy, but there you have it. And it didn't even require both the 2 pints to like finish the bathroom. So I think I'm gonna paint a little bit of my bathroom the same green because I like it so much, and it makes the bathroom look super lush with all my orchids that I have in the bathrooms. And so it will get used. The extra paint will get used. I'm not mad about it. I also bought these paint sample cans for this room. As you can tell over here, I've got a couple of paint swatches painted on the wall. I've got them painted in other parts of the room as well. This room is going to go dark. It's going to be my favorite little Hogwarts dark academia library. And so we're going with the dark blue. But God, these things, they give you so much sample paint, and it's not like the actual formula. So if you haven't watched my other video about where I painted my entire door with craft paint, this is what happens when you're uninformed about the quality of paint that you're purchasing. So I have these 3 little sample paint jars from these 3 colors, and that set me back, I think, about like $35, something like that. So it's like so goofy, but they'll end up getting used for something. All of the painting I did for Emmett's Little Blue Truck birthday party in June was done with paint sample paint from other paint projects that I did in the house. So maybe we'll just do another Little Blue Truck party this year. And then obviously we did the swing project. We have the receipts, and I had to do a little bit of configuring because we ended up buying a bunch of stuff, and then we needed to return some stuff and get different sizes of stuff, and then we had to buy extra supplies because we didn't have enough concrete, and it was just kind of like a lot of back and forth, and we ended up like not necessarily sticking to like, no, we're only spending this much money. It very much became like a situation of just go get it, like we'll figure it out, which is how home renovation apparently happens. So we had price checked everything like a couple of months ago, and by a couple I mean like maybe March, and it was going to be like just at $400 to do the swing project. Well, times they are changing, guys. So the final number on the swing project was $534.31. So like not massively different, but like enough for me to be like, oh, it was over $500. I thought it was over $600, but when we did the actual math, and you know, that doesn't include like Dan's gas of driving all the way around to find this like super giant beam that we had to work on. It is what it is. But I'm really glad, I mean, that's not just money that we have like in the budget. Like we ended up saving for this project, and so the fact that we went a little over was way better than like if we'd spent $600 and hadn't like actually planned on when to do this project. I'm just so happy we stopped doing house renovation like willy-nilly and we started to like plan this shit out. Okay, so that's the goals. That's the spending update. So let's talk about the debt roundup. Let's look at the pie chart. Let's see what I spent out of my personal accounts in September. So September. Okay, bills was 78%. I spent $1,500 on bills last month as my contributions. Why was it more than $1,200, Casey? Because September has more Mondays, and I transfer in to the house account every Monday. So on months that are a little longer, the house account gets a little more love from me, which is totally fine, especially now that I've changed to paying myself every other week. So I got 3 paychecks in September. Okay, savings. I saved $255, which is pretty good. BS, there was $152, which is like a lot. It's 8%, totally within like 50, 30, 20 rule. Do I love it? No, I don't love it. I don't. I've already increased my savings a little bit since I did this. So like every month I'm going to kind of bump it up a little bit more because I've got enough of a cushion in my checking account. That was kind of the problem for the last couple of months, right? When I said that I'd overdrafted my checking account. It's because my savings goals were too big. Like I was pulling too much out. So now that I've kind of got a little bit of that under control, like we can start increasing. I heard this thing from the money guys because I don't just watch Caleb Hammer all day, every day. The money guys were saying that like by the end of your 30s, you should be saving 25% of your income. Well, 25% of my income is about $425 a month. So that's a lot. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. But my spending is so low most of the time that I think that if I do it incrementally, I'm not going to miss it. So I'm going to try to get to that by the end of December. We'll see how it goes. I'm not including like business savings, and I'm not including like house savings. That's like just me. Like, can I save 25% of what's put into my account? We'll see. I mean, our proper savings goal is like 30%, right? So like theoretically I should already be there. We'll see. And this is just like something I'm trying for myself. I'm not asking Dan to do this. I'm just trying to like play this experiment and see if I can make it happen. But that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do. So as you can see, total spent $1,906.69. How does that stack up to previous months? Well, if you remember, we have this extra new line graph, which is very exciting. So in September, technically, my income, as you can see, those numbers are very close. Those little dots are very close together. My income was apparently $1,967.23. And let me remind you, my spending was $1,906.69. squeaked. So like I said, as I start to increase that saving, that's when I got into trouble where like, even with my saving, I was like going over too high and I was spending more than I was making. So I just have to like balance these numbers. I don't mind if it's like all in, all out, as long as the all out is like mostly bills and savings and not BS. Okay, so that was the pie chart. We love a good pie chart. And also like September was a longer month. So the fact that like, yes, there was a little bit more BS, and the bills were a little bit higher. It was mostly because it was just more days. And you might think that I'm disappointed at how high that BS number is, but I'm not, because like $60 of that was period underwear. Okay, so now let's switch over into like the line graph with the bills, savings, bullshit, gas, and medical. That one I feel like is really helpful. Like the pie charts are helpful for like seeing like exactly what I spent, but like how do those categories compare to the other months? Because as you may have noticed in September, I didn't spend any money on gas or medical. So we can see that right here on this little line graph. The BS obviously went up a little bit, which is like not ideal. But the savings went up too. Bills went up as well because obviously it was a longer month. But like I can anticipate it, right? Like I'm sitting here looking at this and it's like, okay, well, April's a longer month, July's a longer month, September's a longer month. January, who the heck knows what I was doing? Not doing this really well. So generally I'm overall happy with that. Like luckily medical and gas were at 0 and the savings was still higher than the BS by just a little bit, but like doing what I can. It looks pretty good. But now like let's look at the bar charts. If we look at our tried and true bar graph, our favorite, oh, it looks so good. Look at that debt bar. It went down. It plummeted. It's the lowest my debt's been all year. Makes me so happy. And the savings still went up, not by like a gajillion dollars, but like enough, right? Okay, so our debt went from $18,407.75 to $16,407.75, right? Because I just paid $2,000. I obviously am not accruing any credit card debt. I'm not accruing any additional debts. That's it. The savings, let's see, we went from $10,210.37 to $10,592.26, and you're like, Casey, that's more than $255. Well, yeah, because my investments gain interest, guys. Come on now, I got money in retirement. I'm not adding to it at the moment, but like there's money already there, and the stock market's been doing okay, so I got a little extra. It just looks so good. Like, I just want it to plummet. I'm just so excited. Is it gonna be that drastic of a change by the end of the year? No. But like, a girl can dream. Mini progress, right? Mini progress. Okay, so let's review. Like, my credit card, 0. Capital One, 0. Medical debt, still the same. Personal loan, went down $2,000. Father-in-law, still the same. Like, now I have less than a $6,000 gap between the amount of debt and the savings that I have. Like, that is incredible. And the difference between the two was $12,000 at the top of the year. Like, that's so good. And like my husband has made progress too. Like the whole household has like paid down so much debt. It's so good. Like it feels so much better than like having a bunch of bullshit in my house, than spending money on stuff that I do not need. Like, would I love to go on a vacation? Yes. Would I like a deck for my backyard? Yes, absolutely I would. But we'll get there. We'll get there. And we'll be able to pay for it in cash. We won't have to put it on credit cards. We won't have to use debt. And it'll all be worth it. I'm super proud of the progress that I've made so far this year. And I'm like encouraged to like reinvest in it for October and for next year as well. So like next month goals. So like what's happening in October? Like spoiler alert, filming this in October. Like I said, not going to eat out on my business card. Don't want to do it because I'm using it as a crutch. I'm using it as like free money, and that's not what it's supposed to be for. And then pay down another $2,000 a debt. Hell yeah. Let's go. And I want to paint this room. I know what color I'm painting it. I know which one of those I'm choosing. And my plan is to paint it in October. But I've got a ton of work. I've got a lot of shoots this month. Like, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel every single month. I'm going to try not to eat out as much, which will be rough because I'm photographing a conference all weekend. I'll figure it out. So I know this is like a little late. I appreciate y'all sticking with me. I was on a roll, releasing videos every week last month, for goodness sakes. But look, your girl got sick and your girl's busy. She's running a company. Like I said, I only do videos when I'm inspired to, or when I have time, or when my baby actually falls asleep. So next month, hopefully you will see a painted office, which will be like so fun. Ooh, it's gonna be so moody. It's gonna be so beautiful. And you will see another $2,000 of debt paid off. I'm going to try to convince my husband to stop using his credit cards. I'm going to try to convince him to stop eating out as much as he is. He's not going to do that, but I can try to convince him. And, we're going to try to switch our car insurance and like our home insurance. We're going to try to start making some of those like bills that seem like non-negotiables, make them cheaper, because everything's real expensive right now. Even the stuff that I like, I'm forced to have, like car insurance and house insurance, which I'm like happy I have, but like they're so freaking expensive. So we're gonna try to like get some of that taken care of. So what do you think? Were you surprised? Oh my gosh, just pulling money out of nowhere to spend on debt. Can't wait until I don't have to use business money to pay off debt, and I can use business money to treat my employees and to hire new people and to expand my business. Anyway, I hope you had fun in September. I can't wait to talk to you all about October, especially because we got Halloween, one of my favorite months, coming up. And thanks for checking in. I'll see you guys in the beginning of November. I promise. It'll be faster. It'll be faster than this one. Okay. Mwah. Love you. Bye.